I'll just start off, I guess, by asking you to look to Wednesday's game a little bit, and in particular the matchup that you've got defensively with Tyson over there at Belmont.
Yeah, I mean, Belmont's really good. Got a top 100 offense in the country. Tyson's a pro prospect. Coming off, I think he had 31 the other day against Sanford. Does a little bit of everything for him. As a 6'7" guard forward, extremely high usage guy. 27% offensive usage rate, which is extremely high. And with that, he's shooting 41% from three, makes up almost half of his shots at 6'7". Last 5 games, he's averaging just over 18 points per game. So tough matchup. I think we've got some guys that are up to the challenge. But really the big one is Malik D off the bench. Vanderbilt transfer, familiar with him from my time at Alabama. Malik's good at 6'9", 240. He's taken, over 43s this year, shooting them at, 36%. Last 5 games, he's shooting at 44%. And he's averaging 6 rebounds, 1.5 boards a game. So they're, 4 and 5 are really tough matchups for us. They're a really, really good offensive team. They're not great defensively, so hopefully we can exploit them on the other end of the floor as well. But again, just the same deal as all year. A lot of teams like to schedule an easy one before Christmas and just get that, have that feel good feeling going home for the holidays. That's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to get better, and playing Belmont's like playing a top tier Sunbelt team, especially on the road. So looking forward to the challenge on Wednesday.
Coach, the team just seems to have put a cap on turnovers the last 2 games, especially against UAB and against oh gosh, what was our last game? Against Louisville. Thank you very much. What explains that sudden turnaround? Turnovers were a big problem. Now, not so much.
I would probably think it might have something to do with having a point guard back in the lineup. So you're talking about the last 2 games. Well, the last 2 games is when we had Caleb Fields back. Before that, we were playing without a point guard. Taryn Todd's never been a point guard. He's a combo guard, prefers to play off the ball, and we had to spend a lot of time with him on the ball. So getting Caleb back after missing that game with a concussion, missing the entire second half at Little Rock, and then missing the entire Alabama game with a concussion. But having a pure point guard back in the lineup is definitely going to help you with the turnover issue.
Well, I like to follow that up then. Caleb Fields, he plays with a kind of an abandon there. Doesn't seem to care about whether or not he's going to destroy his body when he's crashing the boards like that. So the odds are that he's going to get dinged up. Is Taryn Todd? Are you working with Taryn Todd to maybe assume that role if Caleb Fields can't do it?
Yeah, I think the best thing that it's twofold. I mean, one of the best things that happened for Taryn was he was forced to play in that role, so really helps you. But also hoping to have Terrence Ford back here after the break, so which Terrence can also play that position. So I think, but yeah, Taryn's getting better in that spot and can play that role in a pinch. It's just not ideal to have him playing that role 35 to 40 minutes a game.
Coach, I wanted to ask you just also about the offensive performance against Louisville on a night when the three really wasn't falling, and the ability to get to the basket there.
Yeah, you got to find out. You got to learn how to win games without making shots. We didn't shoot it well the other night. Shot the heck out of against UAB. You go on the road, you're gonna have some games we don't shoot it well, and you got to learn how to still win a basketball game. So I thought we did a great job getting to the rim and scoring and getting paint touches top to bottom. So I think that was big for us. Obviously helped us win that basketball game, and I just think this team's growing. I think we're starting to get some healthy bodies back. We're starting to understand how to play the way we want to play a little bit better. Starting to be more comfortable with the tempo. So this team's growing up.
Luke, you got anything? Jeff, you got anything?
Hey, I got something else, Caleb.
All
Coach, I
right.
just wanted to ask you kind of about the reaction that you've gotten from fans and others since the Louisville game. Obviously, it's a marquee brand in college basketball. You know.
Yeah, our fan base is great. The people here in Jonesboro and just ASU supporters in general have been phenomenal. They've been, for the most part, I'd say 90% of them, maybe more, are supporters whether we win or lose, and have a general understanding of basketball, and that we weren't going to come in and go undefeated with the schedule that we put out in front of us. So our fan base has been good. The support after Louisville was great. The guys, I know the guys see that. That means a lot to them. We had a great group of fans. I would say probably 50, 60 Arkansas State people behind our bench at Louisville. And that made a huge deal to the guys. And so just really excited about this group. The home crowds have been great. I thought the UAB atmosphere was great. Obviously, I wasn't here, but I heard that's one of the best atmospheres that's been in this building in a while. And I think that comes with what we're doing. People are willing to stick with us with this tough schedule. I mean, again, played the 35th toughest non-conference schedule in all of college basketball, according to ESPN. And the number one non-conference in the Sun Belt. So took some lumps, especially when we were shorthanded, and I think we're starting to come together. We have a really, really tough one on Wednesday. I mean, it's right up there with any of these others that we've played. I mean, analytically, the Ken Palm and the Haslam metrics and all the analytic companies have us being have Belmont being 5 or 6 points better than us at home. And so we've got to find a way to become, a couple possessions better than them. And so that's what we've been focusing on here the last couple of days.
How close would you say LaQuill Hardnett is to, being full strength? I know he gave you some minutes off the bench the other night.
Yeah, 5 rebounds in 8 minutes. He's I'd say he's probably at like 80%, probably 90 by the but for the Belmont game, and then after he gets another week off after that, I think he'll be hitting Sun Belt play at 100%.
Coach, you mentioned the week off, obviously finish up this week and then the Christmas break. I know there's a lot of the high school tournaments that'll be taking place next week. You and your staff planning on getting out to any of those for recruiting purposes?
Yeah, we'll be out and about, but we are college basketball hits a dead period. I think want to say the 24th and 25th we can't do anything. So but we will be out and about at some tournaments across the country in the 21st to the 23rd.
Coach Isaiah Nelson in the last 2 games especially has really turned it on. He was having problems with fouls and staying in the game early in the season. He seems to be playing with the same level of what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily recklessness, aggressiveness. How has he been able to turn down the fouls?
I growing up learning. I mean, foul trouble. Yeah, I mean, you go play at Alabama. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for a sophomore that played limited role last year, and you throw him on the road and have him guard the big fellows from Wisconsin and Iowa. And so as you play that schedule like that, the game starts to slow down a little bit for you mentally. And he's continuing to grow and learn. I don't know if there'd be a more improved player. Definitely not in the Sun Belt, or probably not many places, than Isaiah Nelson over the last 3 to 4 weeks. It's been more than 2 games. I think he's on a 4-game tear right now where he's been unbelievable for us. So just got to continue to keep him going in the right direction, and he's been a force. And I think he's in a great headspace right now. Wants to get better, and he's seeing the reward for his work. He's had a couple great practices over the last couple of days, so I wouldn't be surprised if he continues at that speed. He'll have a great game again on Wednesday.